परमं सद्गुरुं वन्दे श्रीकृष्णं तदनन्तरं गुरुपापात्मना त्राता श्रीकृष्णस् त्वमलात्मना चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा दावाग्निर्वापनम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधूजी आनन्दाबुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृता सदा स्वाधनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादा नमस्ते कमलेक्षणे यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्मादेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणहं प्रपद्ये। पूजनीय आदरणीय पंडित या पंडित्स, भक्तजन, विप्र मंडली, दिव्य आत्मा, worshipable pandits, devotees of God, the divine souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe and Sitaram to everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to each and every one of you here tonight. As you heard from Uncle Raju that tonight was supposed to be the last night of our 4-night session, but by the grace of Bhagwan Shri Radha Krishna, this has been extended 3 more days. As you were seeing, it was difficult to explain this Navadha Bhakti in just 4 nights. I would have been doing this service to you, this service to Bhagwan's Bhakti also, in trying to make it so short. There's shortcut in everything, but with the shortcut we don't understand the actual value. Just get an understanding briefly. As usual, before we begin tonight's discourse, I'd like to do a bhajan with you. This bhajan written by Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Sankirtan Sudha 128. Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, chant the name of Radha Krishna. Jivan Dhan Govinda Radhe, Radha Krishna is the treasure of my life. Na bhulo man pal chin aadhe, O mine, don't forget Radha Krishna even for half of a moment. Sumiro Nitya Govind Radhe, न भूलो मन पल चिन आधे, सुमेरो मन. Every moment, nitya and always, remember the divine couple Radha Krishna. Don't forget them, even for a moment. तू ही तो मेरा गोविंद राधे, भुलायो मोहि काहे बता दे. O Radha Krishna, you alone belong to me. Then how come you have forgotten me? तो ही सो मेरा गोविंद राधे, है स्वामी सखा सुत पति नाते. Hey Radha Krishna, O Lord, you alone is everything to me, my every relation of the soul, the Atma. You are my Swami, my master, my Sakha, my friend, my Sut, my child, my Pati, my eternal beloved, every relation, all the Nate. Bhajahu as Govind Radhe, kalap sam lag pal adhe. One who worships, loves God, Radha Krishna, even a moment away from them seems like millions and millions of years. Kalp is over 306 million years. चाह एक गोविंद राधे, मेरा दासत्व दिला दे. Hey Radha Krishna, give me that eternal relationship that the soul has with you, and that is to serve you, dasatva, the eternal service. Kripalu dohu Govind Radhe, nirahu mohi kor kripade. In the last line, the Saint Kripaluji says, Oh Radha Krishna, please look at me. Show a very tiny drop of your grace by looking towards me, looking at me. We sing this beautiful bhajan. Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe,
Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe.
Oh Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri
Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe.
Jivan Dhanu Govinda Radhe, na bhulo man palo chhin aadhe. Jivan
Govinda Radhe, na bhulo man palo chin aadhe.
सुमेरनी तो गोविंद राधे, न भूलो मन पलो छीन आधे. सुमेरनी तो जय श्री राधे. Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe,
Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe.
Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe, Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda उसी सो मेरा वही सो मेरा गोविंद राधे है स्वामी सखा सुपति नाथे। जय श्री राधे।
स्वामी सखा सुपति नाथे।
ओ श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
भजहु अस गोविंद राधे कलप सम लग पल आधे भजहु
गोविंद राधे कलप सम लग पल आधे
चाह एक गोविंद राधे मेरा दास राधे गोविंद राधे मेरा दास राधे। ओ श्री राधे 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 गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
कृपालु गोविंद राधे निहारो मोहि पूर कृपा दे
गोविंद राधे निहारो मोहि कृपा दे।
ओ श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
ओ श्री राधे 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 गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे
राधे गोविंद राधे श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे।
बोले श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। नाउ पे अटेंशन। जैसे भगवान श्री राम ने शबरी से कहा कि सावधान सुनो धरु मन माही, भगवान श्री राम says to Sabari, I am going to explain Navdha Bhakti, ninefold devotion, 9 types of devotion. Be alert, saudhan, and listen. Ar dharu man mahi, focus your mind, absorb the mind, listen not with the ears, with the mind. Two places this Navdha Bhakti is being described. In the Ramcharitamanas, Bhagwan Shri Ram is outlining this ninefold devotions to Shabari. And in Bhagavad Mahapuran, little Prahlad, 5-year-old, is outlining Navdha Bhakti to his father, Rakshas Raj, Hiranyakashipu. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Sakhyamatma Nivedanam. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 7th Canto, 5th chapter, 23rd verse. So, 9 type of devotion. Prahlad Ji Maharaj says to Hiranyakashipu, his father, the king among the Rakshas, Shravanam, listening to the divine philosophy, the divine katha of the Lord, absorbing the mind. Kirtanam, chanting, singing the praises of the Lord with love and devotion. So we describe Shravanam. Also, Bhagwan Shri Ram says to Shabari, Chautahi bhagati mama guna gana karahi kapat taji gan. The 4th devotion, he says, is to chant my name, my qualities, my pastimes, giving up all hypocrisy with a guileless heart, chanting my name and qualities, etc. We described the greatness of chanting God's names last night. The Shravanam, do sarirati mama katha prasanga. Bhagwan Shri Ram also says to Shabari, the 2nd type of devotion is a fondness, an attachment, a great love for listening to my narrations, my katha, the divine philosophy. Begari se nahi, not because someone tells you let's go to mandir, or everybody else is going so I should go too. But there is an excitement to listen, that no matter how many times we hear the katha, we want to hear it again and again. Then that is bhakti. Rati means extreme interest, attachment, fondness. Pada sevanam, I explain also, worshiping the lotus feet of the Lord. In the Ramayana, Guru Pada Pankaja Seva, Tisari Bhakti Aman. Bhagwan Shri Ram says to Shabari, the 3rd type of devotion is to serve the lotus feet of the Guru, the saint, without any pride, aman, that I am doing something. The greatness of the Guru was explained. Who is the Guru? What is the Guru? This was explained. The first bhakti, Prathama Bhakti Santan Kar Sangha. The very first bhakti Bhagwan Shri Ram says to Shabari is to associate with the saints, the holy associations of the saint. And most of you know the Ramayana. In the Ramayana, Tulsidas ji begins the Ramayana in Bal Kand. Binu Satya Sangha Vivekan Hoi, Ram Kripa Binu Sulabhan Soi. That without the association of the saint, and I explain what is a saint. Who is a saint? One who has seen Krishna. Bhagwan Krishna says in Gita, chapter 4, verse 34, Tattvadarshinaha. One who has seen that supreme Tattva, that supreme entity, God. That is a guru, the saint. When you associate with a saint like that, then only you attain true knowledge. And that association will come only when God showers His grace upon us. So up to here, we did three. We did Shravanam, Kirtanam, Pada Sevanam. Tonight, a very important one, Smaranam. Smaran means to remember, to meditate, dhyan. This is so important that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Maner Smaran Pran. The word pran means life. That no matter how many types of devotion there are, 9 is famous, but there are more types. I told you even 100 types of devotion. But the life of all devotion is Smaran. Without Smaran, all the devotion is like a body without life. A body is very beautiful. We are so attached to this body. The thing anyone loves the most is his own body. Anybody touch your body, no matter how ugly or how bad it may be, we are so attached. Self-preservation. A boy and a girl could be so much in love, husband and wife, they are walking with arms around each other, and you just throw a rubber snake. They don't know it's a rubber snake. Throw a rubber snake. One run this way and one run that way. The same, I will give my life for you. And suddenly, a little rubber snake and one run in that direction, we love ourselves more than anything else. Proof. So that body is so valuable to us. We care for it so much. Oh, so much makeup and lipstick and oh this and that and perfume. And the scripture says, a girl, when you are 15, when you are young, there's a certain amount of pride that comes with youth. A girl may be so ugly, bad looking, but when you're around 16 years, you think I'm the most beautiful thing God has created. Once, a 16-year-old girl, not beautiful, ugly, was going somewhere, so suddenly she happened to meet a Devata, a celestial god. So the Devata said to her, look, I am a Devata, celestial god, I can give you something. Ask me for any boon. She said, give me whatever you want. So he said, should I make you beautiful? One slap. Huh? You think I'm ugly? She thought she was so beautiful already. So the pride comes. That pride. And we are so attached to this body. So much thing we do with this body. But while the life is there, the moment the life leaves that body, hey, Bury it, burn it quickly. It's going to stink. In India, the same day that person die, they get 2 pieces of bamboo, a sheet of white cloth, they rub that body, put on the shoulder, Ram Nam Satya Hai, and they take it to burn. They don't keep it. We keep here 3 days, 4 days. The same day. They take it to Marnikarnika Ghat for burning. Get rid of it. Bhoot will come, ghost, zombie will come in the house. Huh? That body you're so attached, your father, your mother, your wife. No. So the body now has no value. In the same way, without the smaran, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying, Lord Chaitanya is saying that without smaran, all devotion is like a dead body without life. This is a pran, the life. Smaran. Smaran is so important. Last night I talked about chanting the name of the Lord, which is very good. And many, many great teachers have preached about chanting. They have emphasized chanting. The reason is that if we keep chanting and we get a liking, plus the realization has to be there that there's no difference between God and the name. Not just taking the name, but having that belief. Remember I told you last night in the Shikshastakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nam Nam Kadi Bahudha Nija Sarva Shakti Star Tar Pita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivami Dishamiha Janina Nuraka. That God has many, many names. 1. 2. He's so merciful that He's put all the power in the name. Nija Sarva Shakti. In other words, God sits in the name. There's no difference between God and the name. When you say Ram, Ram is in that name. Krishna is in the name Krishna. Plus you have made no rules for taking the name. Which direction, which place, whether you should take a bath, what kind of clothes to wear, nothing, no rules. So extreme is your mercy. But my durdaiva, my misfortune is also to the extreme in that I do not have attachment for chanting your name, taking your name. The reason being because we don't have the belief, the faith that God is in the name. The day that faith becomes 100%, that Krishna is in the name, you say Hare Krishna, you will attain God realization. That's all it takes, 100% faith that Krishna is sitting in the name. 100%. Belief, faith. So the thing is that why the teachers has emphasized chanting is that slowly the mind will get attached. And then comes smaranam. But the main is smaran. Let me give you a few verses in Bhagavad, in Gita, sorry. Bhagavan Krishna says, chapter 8, Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram Yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastatta sanshayah. Chapter 8, verse 5, Gita. Bhagavan Krishna says, if at the moment of death, mukta kalevaram, when you leave the body, this is called kalevar, this body in Sanskrit. If you leave this body, remember, and the word here comes smaran, smaran. If you remember me, at that moment you leave the body, you will come to me. There is no doubt about that. And if I remember anything else, Supposing I don't remember Krishna, I don't remember God at the moment of death, what happens? Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavita. Chapter 8 verse 6. The next verse. So first he says, if you remember me at the moment of death, remember, use the word here, remember. Smaran. Again now the word smaran comes. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever you remember, wherever the mind is attached, at the moment of death, that is what you become in the next life. You will become that thing or something pertaining to that. And there are two examples in the scriptures that bears proof to this philosophy. The first example is Ajamil, and the second example is Jar Bharat. Ajamil Katha, many people know a lot about, have heard about, but doesn't understand. Many people say that if you take God's name, whether you think about God or not, you take the name of God at the moment of death, you will attain God, and they quote the example of Ajamil. Now let's understand. Read the Katha properly. The 6th canto begins with the Katha of Ajamil. Ajamil was a great Brahmin, very learned Brahmin. He had knowledge of the soul, knowledge that I am the soul, self-realization. Not like us, not hearing that I am the soul or reading somewhere, realizing that I am the soul. He was very pious, a wonderful son to his parents, a wonderful husband to his wife, and a wonderful father to his children. He was very pious and wonderful, very amiable, very friendly soul to all creatures. One day, Ajamil went to the forest to collect some wood for his father. The father was also a Brahmin, to perform the daily Havan, puja. While returning from the forest, he saw a prostitute and a drunkard. A prostitute woman and a drunkard go hugging each other and drunk in that condition, and the woman was almost naked. Ajamil saw this scene and his mind became overcome with lust for this prostitute. One moment of kusang, a bad association, such a high soul. Ajamil was self-realized, very pious. He had knowledge of the scriptures, the Vedas. And one moment of kusang, he saw this woman in a disheveled state, a prostitute, and everything went down the drain. He forgot everything. He became overcome with lust for this woman. He abandoned his wife, beautiful, wonderful young wife, children, his father, his parents. He started stealing in order to upkeep this woman, this prostitute, because now she's making demands. She's a prostitute. He had to find money, and so he would steal from his own parents. And this woman, she belonged to a very low class. She used to eat meat and drink alcohol. And Ajamil started to eat meat and drink alcohol too. A Brahmin started drinking alcohol, eating meat. One of the greatest sins is to drink alcohol. Mahapap. There are 5 Mahapap. And one of them is drinking alcohol. When people say it's not written in the scriptures, it's written in our scriptures, in the Vedas. Alcohol is a Mahapap. They are Pap, sin, and Mahapap means a great, great sin. So he lived with this woman and he did all kind of, he tried to steal and all kind of wrong things to upkeep her. He had children with her too. And the youngest child he was very fond of, the youngest son. He had put that son name Narayan, which is the name of Bhagwan. And he was very fond of that child. One day, he felt very sick. And he thought he was going to die. And he saw the messengers of death coming. When we are about to die, you attain a vision. You're able to see things that you will not see while you're alive. This is explained in Garud Puran, etc. And he was very knowledgeable. He knew that if he were to see the messengers of death, you know, people say, I know when I'm going to die. Yes, you will know. You will see them coming. And you can't stop them. So Jamil saw the Yamduts, the messengers of death. And because he was so attached to his son, because he's thinking I'm going to die, he started calling out to his son, Narayan, when you're about to die, the thing that you are most attached to, that's what you're going to think about or remember. If you're attached to any person or object in the world, your money, your motor car, a dog, the parrot, a donkey, that's what you're going to remember. Not Bhagavan. If you're attached to Bhagavan, you'll remember Bhagavan. Whatever you're attached to. So he was so attached, the thing that he was attached to most was this smallest son. So he started calling out, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Not to Bhagavan, to the son. And when he started saying that, the Vishnu Dut came. The messengers of Bhagavan. Mahapurush, saints. And there was a big argument between the Vishnu Dut and the Yamaduts, the messengers of Bhagavan and the messengers of death. And they said, the messengers of Bhagavan said, you cannot take the soul away, that he has taken God's name. But they said, yes, but he is such a great sinner. He has done so much wrong things that he has to suffer. And they said, no, because he has taken God's name, it has destroyed all those sins. And there was a big argument. Anyhow, the Vishnu Duts, they won the argument. And so the messengers of death ran away from there. When Ajamil saw this, he became very happy. And he rushed to thank the messengers of Bhagavan, the Vishnu Dut, but they disappeared at the same time. Gayab ho gaye. So Ajamil now sat down. And he realized what had happened to him. He said to himself, look where I was. I was such a great soul. I had knowledge of the scriptures. I had realized I am the soul, the Atma. I was such a good son. I was such a good person. And because of Kusang, one moment of bad association, I lost everything. But now he had another association, the association of the saints. Remember, Prathama Bhakti Santan Kar Sangha. The first devotion, the association of the saint. Because of this moment association with the saints, the messengers of Bhagavan, Mahapurush, they are called in Bhagavad, Mahapurush, saint. Ajamil became totally detached from everything, from the wife, from the prostitute, from the Narayan, from everybody. Everything he became totally detached. Totally detached. And he thought to himself, let me now go and worship Bhagwan. Now listen carefully. I want you to go and read the Katha too if you want. Ajamil did not die. He did not die. Not yet. Ganga iti jat sunirvedah iti jat sunirvedah kshana sangena sadhushu ganga dwaramupeyaya mukta sarvanubandhanah. Bhagavad Mahapuran 6th canto, 2nd chapter, 39th verse. Because this verse is saying, because of a moment's association, kshana sangen, kshana means a moment, sang means association, sadhu means saint. Kshana sangen sadhushu. Because of a moment association with the saints, Ajamil realized the reality of all worldly things and objects. He became totally detached. Mukta sarvanubandhanaha. He became detached from all his worldly relation. Bandha means world, bandhu means relations. All the worldly relations. And he went where? Ganga Dwar, which is called Haridwar. The doorway to God means, there's a place like that in India called Haridwar. Ganga Dwar means Haridwar. He went there. And he went to a Vishnu temple. A temple dedicated to Bhagavan Krishna. And there, totally detached, he did bhakti. For 1 year. Now he's doing bhakti now. Smaran. He did bhakti for 1 year. And then at the end of 1 year, having his mind become totally attached to Bhagavan Krishna, now only the Vishnu Dut came. No Yam Dut came now. Only the Vishnu Dut came. Ajamil discarded this body he had, the worldly body. He attained a body like those same Vishnu Dut, like the Lord. He sat in a divine aerial car and he went to the abode of the Lord. So Ajamil did not attain God realization because he called his son. You know, many people in the world, they put their children name Radha, Ram, Krishna, and they get attached to them. I too like Ajamil. I can do all the wrong thing and I'll be attached to my child, and when I die, I'll think about my child. Radha, 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 and I'll go to Bhagavan. No. You have to understand the katha properly. He did, because of the bhakti he did in Haridwar, then he went to Bhagavan. Plus the association of the saints, that moment association. Sant Sang is so great. Sat Sang. But what we call Satsang is not Satsang. Anywhere we go and meet somewhere, we sing a little bit, we say, I'm going Satsang. Huh? Are there saints over there? No. Then how is it Satsang? Sat Sang. Sat means sant, saint. Sang means associate. When you associate with the saint in the correct way, then knowledge will come. People go and they argue whole night and then, oh, that was a real good satsang. That's not satsang. Understand what satsang is. Tulsidas ji makes it clear in the Ramayana. Bhagavad everywhere also too. So Sant Sang, when we associate, Mahapurusha Sang, Sadhu Sang. Here the Bhagavad is saying, Kshana Sangena Sadhushu. The word sadhu means sant. Not an old man with ragged clothes and wearing a kanti. That's not a sadhu and begging. Well, a saint can be like that. But what we call sadhu, what we understand sadhu, is not a sadhu. The word sadhu means sant. Sadhu means good. A saint. And we call anybody sadhu. We have to understand these things. The other example I told you, Jar Bharat. This is also in Bhagavad Mahapuran. This katha is also there, 5th canto. The great Swayambhu Manu, one of the Manus, his son was Priyabrat. The son of Priyabrat was Agnidra. Agnidra's son was Nabhi, and the son of Nabhi was Rishab. Rishab is also called Bhagwan. He's a descendant of Sri Krishna, Rishab Dev. Bhagwan Rishab had 100 sons. The eldest one was called Bharat. Before Bharat, this whole world was called Ajanabhavarsh. Because of how great Bharat was, such a great devotee of Bhagwan Krishna, that this whole world became known as Bharatvarsh because of that Bharat. The same Bharat. Bharat, after Rishabh Bhagwan left a certain age, he decided to go and devote himself to the Lord only. He gave the kingdom to Bharat. Bharat was a great devotee, totally detached from the world. He ruled for over 1,000,000 years. And then he detached, he left everything, handed everything to his children, the sons, and he himself went into the forest. He went to the Gandaki Nadi. Gandaki Nadi. That river is a very special river. It runs now in a place called Nepal, North India. It is special because the stones found in that river, there's an insect in the river that cuts the stone, little black stones, and it cuts a chakra. The weapon of Sri Krishna is Sudarshan Chakra, the discus. These creatures, they cut a chakra, a discus inside that stone. So the stones that are found in this river, they are the only ones that are considered to be authentic shaligram. There's a stone, small black stone, which represents Bhagwan Krishna. You see, many of us don't know. Every stone we see, we think is Shivling. People asked me one time, somebody was doing puja, a pandit, and they said, Swamiji, why that Shivling is so small? I said, it's not a Shivling. It's shaligram. There's a big difference. So there was the shrap was given by Tulsi. I'm not going to Katha tonight, it's too long. Some other time. A shrap was given to Bhagavan that he will become the stone, and the Lord accepted, and he also gave a shrap to Tulsi. She became a tree. That Tulsi, this is Mahalakshmi. That wherever the Lord is worshipped, there must be Tulsi. The leaf. That's why when you do puja, you must have Tulsi. Or else he says, I do not accept that puja, not anything offered in that puja. So, that river, the stones that come from that Gandaki river is called authentic shaligram. On the bank of that river, there was an ashram. So Jar Bharat went there and he continued his devotion. He was already self-realized. Paramhans, he had realized, I am the soul, the Atma. Paramhans. But he was not God realized. There's a big difference. Many people in the West, they say self-realization is God realization. That's not true. There are two Maya. Tulsidas ji says, Bhagwan Shri Ram says to Lakshman in the Ramayana, Lakshman had asked his elder brother Bhagwan Shri Ram, what is Maya? And Bhagwan Shri Ram answered and said, Sunahu tumado Vidya apara avidya do. That there are two kinds of Maya. One is Vidya Maya, one is Avidya Maya. And I've explained before, and I'm not going to go in great details. Maya has three qualities: Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Sattvagun alone is called Vidya Maya, and Rajogun plus Tamogun combined is called Avidya Maya. Long ago, in Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar yogis and rishis could destroy Avidya Maya by themselves, the Gyanis, the yogis. But no one, no yogi, no rishi, not even in Satyug, could destroy Sattvagun, Vidya Maya by themselves. For that you need the grace of Bhagwan. This is what Bhagwan Krishna says in Gita. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante maya me tantadantite. Chapter 7 verse 14. That only the one who completely surrenders to God can become free from Vidya Maya. When you attain self-realization, you have only destroyed Avidya Maya. That person has realized, I am the soul. But that person, that Jnani, that yogi falls again. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Brahma bhutah prasannat manasho chatina kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Chapter 18 verse 54 Gita. He says that Brahma bhut, meaning that self-realized soul, that Paramhans, has become fit. This becoming fit doesn't mean he has attained everything. He has become fit to do something. What? Mad bhaktim labhate param. He has become fit to do bhakti. That Jnani, after having attained self-realization, has to now come and do bhakti, what we are doing, ABC. Because without bhakti, no one can cross Vidya Maya. So for God realization, you need bhakti, knowledge of God. So Jad Bharat was sitting on the bank of that river doing bhakti, meditation on Sri Krishna. A pregnant deer came to drink water in that river. While she was drinking water, a lion roared. And that deer got so scared, she tried to jump over the river. And while she was jumping over, the baby that was in the womb fell out. She had a miscarriage. And the deer, that mother ran into some cave and died. And the baby started to drown in the water. Jar Bharat saw this whole thing happening because the roar and everything. He saw that baby drown in the water and he became overcome with compassion. He dove into the water, took out the baby, saved that little baby there, and started to take care of her. And he became very attached. This is the Vidya Maya. This world we see around us, the trees, the mountains, the valleys, the people, animal, this is Vidya Maya. That is real. He became attached to that deer. So attached that when he was dying, he put his hand on the deer, on the head of a deer, passing, and he told his disciples, this deer is very, very dear to me. This little babe, well now it was big now. Please take care of her. Make sure no harm come to her. And he died remembering that deer. Even though he was self-realized, such a great soul. And because of that, in the next life, he had to be born as a deer. The katha is there. Read for yourself. But because he was self-realized, he had reached such a high state, even in the body of a deer, he retained all the knowledge of the past birth. He remembered everything. And now, he will not keep company with other deers. He used to only go in the ashram where the saints would be. Or jhuta khaya. He used to eat the jhuta. This is the Mahaprasad. When you eat the jhuta of a saint, it's called Mahaprasad. Bhakta shish, bhakta avashish, bhakta pada dhuli, bhakta pada jal, bhakta avashish, tin mahabal. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gaurang Mahaprabhu says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the water which washes the feet of a saint is called Charan Amrit. That is called Charan Amrit. The dust of the feet of a saint, and whatever food he has eaten or anything he has touched, is called avashish. These three are called Mahaprasad, and they have great benefit to any aspiring devotee. It gives tremendous strength, power to you. These three things are very powerful. But a true saint, a true devotee, the dust of the feet of a devotee is so much. Bhagwan Krishna says to Uddhav, Nirapeksham munim shantam niravairam samadarshanam anubrajamiham nityam puyatang ghirenu 11 Canto, 14 chapter, 16 verse Bhagavad Mahapuran. Bhagwan Krishna says, Uddhav, I run after my surrendered devotees like a slave. Uddhav said, why, my Lord? To protect them? No, Uddhav, I do that already sitting in their heart. I already protect them. Then why are you running after them? So that when they walk, the dust of their feet will fly, it will come in me and I'll become purified. The Lord wants to get the Supreme Lord. He wants to get the dust of the feet of that saint. Imagine how great that dust is. The gopis of Vrindavan, Uddhav, Sanak Sanandan Sanatan Sanak Kumar, Brahma became trees, creepers, grass in Vrindavan. So that when the gopis will walk, the dust of their feet will fly and come on them and cover them, and they'll get blessed. So great is the dust of the feet of a saint, a true devotee of the Lord. Charan Dhuli, Bhakti Pad Dhuli. So, in that day, remember in the past what happened? So, he would only go in the ashrams and eat the juta of the saints. And very quickly he got rid of that body. And in the next life he was born as a great bhakt. But now he hid himself. He was born in a very great family, but he pretended to be so stupid. So dull-witted and stupid. He had the greatest knowledge. He pretended to be the most stupid person in the whole world. Understand this. A true devotee of God hides himself. Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam Pratnataha. Anytime somebody start boasting and telling you how great they have, how much devotion they have for Bhagwan and how great it is, keep very far away. That's not a devotee. A devotee doesn't do that. A devotee will say, Mo samakauna kutila khalakami. Hey Krishna, there is no one as wicked, bent, evil, bad as me. This is what a devotee does. A true saint. A saint? He's a saint, he has realized God, everything is pure. Yet he is saying there is no one as wicked, as bad, as evil, as bent as me. When Vibhishan said to Hanuman, Hanuman, I am a Rakshas. Will Ram accept me? Hanuman said, I am a monkey. If somebody get up in the morning and the first thing they see is a bandar, a monkey, their whole day is spoiled. This is the language of a saint. A true devotee hides himself. He doesn't boast. When you express and show your devotion, you lose it. They hide themselves. It's very difficult to find a true devotee. So, this Katha tells us how important it is to remember Smaranam. Again in the Gita, Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yuddhacha mayyarpitamano buddhir mame vaivasya sanshayam. Chapter 8 verse 7. I did 8.5, 8.6, now 8.7. This is the whole Gita in one line. One line. Karma Yoga. Do you want to know what is the meaning of Karma Yoga? This line. Bhagwan Krishna. How? People say, how can I live in the world and worship God? Gita is for householders. He's telling you how you can live in the world and at the same time attach your mind to Bhagavan. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjun, Tasmat Sarveshu, Arjun, at all places, Sarveshu, Kaleshu, at all times, Mamanusmara, remember me, think about me, and Yudhyacha, you are Kshatri, do your duty, fight the war. Duty of a Kshatri is to fight the war. So do your duty, perform it. Nobody says don't do duty. Do your duty as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a parent. Do your duty. But keep your mind attached to Krishna. Duty plus bhakti, that is Karma Yoga. That's the meaning of Karma Yoga. Maya arpitamano buddhir mame vaivasya shanshaya. Krishna, Arjun, if your mind and intellect is attached to me like that, you will certainly come to me. Again, in the same chapter, Omiteekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mamanus. Again, the word Smaran. All these verses, I'm telling you, the word Smaran comes. Smaran. Omiteekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mamanusmaran Yaprayati Tyajandeham Ya Sayati Paramangatim. Chapter 8 verse 13 Gita. One who remembers me, Mamanusmara Tyajandeham, leave in this body, that person will attain the highest attainment. Param Gatim means godization. Again it comes. Next verse. Ananya chetah satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Chapter 8 verse 14. The word nitya comes 3 places in this verse, repeated over and over. Ananya chetaha satatam, one who is always exclusively thinking about God. Ananya means exclusively, no devata, no celestial gods, only God, the supreme power, is called Ananya. The word Anya means others. In Sanskrit, when you put the prefix an before a word, it means the opposite. So Ananya means only one, no other, exclusively. One who is exclusively, who thinks about the Lord every moment. Ananya chetah satatam yomam smarati. And then again he's saying, yomam smaran. And remembers me, nityashah, at all times. You already said satatam. Again nityashah, again always. 2 means the same thing. I didn't stop there. Tasyaham sulabha partha. One easily comes to me. Easily, very sulabha. It's so easy to come. Nitya. The word nitya again means always. Nitya yuktasya yoga, that yogi, that means bhakti yoga. That yogi, that devotee yogi, whose mind is always attached to me, remembering me, will come to me. So many places, this smaran. So important is smaran. What will happen when you remember the Lord? Something happens. Tulsidas ji says, Doha. फूटहु नयन जरहु से कौन कही का दरही सरही पुल कही नहीं तुलसी सुमिरत राम सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम प्रभु. Listen carefully. Tulasi Sumirat Ram. When one remembers God, worships God, sings the name of the Lord, any kind of devotion you do, and certain things are supposed to happen. If it's not, Tulsidas is using very harsh language. He condemns mechanical worship of God. He says that certain things are supposed to happen to you. The heart is supposed to melt with love and devotion. The paws, pulakaid. The paws are supposed to raise and thrill with joy. And tears are supposed to flow from the eyes. If that doesn't happen, here patahu, that heart that doesn't melt with love, with joy, in remembering the Lord, in chanting the name, in doing worshiping, that heart should be ripped apart. Patahu. The eyes that doesn't shed tears of love and devotion. Nayan putahu. Putahu nayan should be busted. And the body that the paws doesn't raise on end and thrill with joy. Dravai satana kehi kam. Jarahu satana should be burnt to ashes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very beautifully says in the Shikshastakam, Nayanam galadashrudhadaya badanam gadgad rudhaya gira pulakai nichitam bapu kada tavanam maghane bhavishyati. Hey Krishna, when will that day come that taking your name, one name, taking the name once, tears will flow from my eyes. Nayanam galadashrudhadaya. The body will thrill with joy. The voice will come gad, choked with emotion. All the paws will raise on ends. This is supposed to happen when you say Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radha Govind. Any name of the Lord. If that's not happening, okay, it's not happened yet, but it has. That's where you have to go. That is the bhakti. To the point of yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. That if I don't see the Lord for a moment, the next moment there's such a separation in the heart. Yugayitam nimeshena. One moment seems like a whole yug. A yug is over 4 billion years. A moment would seem like that. Yugayitam nimeshena. Chakshusha pravisha. Tears will flow like a river. Shunyayitam jagat sarvam. The whole world will become like nothing. Tasteless. Just in a moment's separation from the Lord. That's where we have to reach. That is a bhakti. But that comes through smaranam. When you meditate, Roop Dhyan, meditating on the form of Radha Krishna. We have to meditate. Take some time from your daily life. I know we are very busy. Everybody is very busy. We are so busy that in the morning some people get up and they're running through the door with the coffee in their hand or the donut. Why not take an hour, get up an hour earlier or 2 hours that you can spend with the Lord? We don't have to sleep so much. An adult person does not need more than 6 hours sleep. We sleep too much. When you sleep, it brings tamasic quality. Sleeping is a tamasic quality. When you sleep, people say, I want my beauty sleep. If sleep gives beauty, then keep sleeping. I never see a person get beautiful because they sleep. Sleeping is a tamasic. The more you sleep, the more lazy you feel. The day you sleep less, you feel more energetic. Not too less. You cannot sleep too less as well as too much. Both are dangerous. To sleep, we have to do everything in moderation. Too much sleep, too little sleep is bad. Too much drinking, too little drinking, anything liquid. Too much eating, too little eating. Anything in excess is very bad. Yukta ahara vihara yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita that we have to be moderate. So, how can I sleep 6 hours? Yeah, sometimes we can, we sit on the computer, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, we could do it in the chat room or something, but no problem. But you cannot go to sleep a little bit earlier, wake up earlier and do 2 hours devotion, hour devotion. Any moment we can die. One thing we cannot guarantee, that we'll live to see tomorrow. Nobody can guarantee that. The Yaksh, he asked Yudhishthira 60 questions, Sat Prashna. And the first question he asked was, Kim Ashcharyam? What is the most surprising fact in the world? इस संसार में सबसे ताजुब बात क्या है? And Yudhishthira answered and said, Ahanyahani bhutani gacchanti hayamalayam sheshasthirat michanti kimashcharyamataha param. He said, every moment we see people dying, going to Yamalaya. Every moment. Yet nobody thinks, I will die. The son has died. And the father thinks, yes, my son has died, but I'm only 50 years, I won't die yet. No. Every moment we should remember, think that I could die in the next moment. One saint said, Do baatan ko bhool mat, do baatan ko bhool mat, jo chahat kalyan. 2 things one should not forget if you want what is good for you. What is that? Narayan ik maut ko, Narayan ik maut ko, Dujo Shri Bhagavan, Dujo Shri Bhagavan. He said, first thing, remember death. Maut. Death? We are scared when we hear the word death. I don't want to die. Why should he say remember death? Because the reason why we procrastinate, we keep putting off. You know, people sometimes, I meet people and they said, yes, Swamiji, I will do devotion, but I ain't ready yet, man. I have so much things to do. I want to enjoy the world a little more. How much time we have said that? And we don't. And we keep making an excuse and the time never comes. Because you'll always say, I ain't ready yet. And then death comes one day and that's the end of you. But if I think that I can die the next moment, this will force me to remember God. That's why the saint is saying, remember death first. That if I think that I don't know if I'll live to see tomorrow, how many of us is our experience? People close to us, we never thought they were going to die. In front of us, they die. It's a big shock for us. How could they die? Time come, you have to go. Nobody can stop that. Whether you have to die by accident, whether you have to die by some scorpion stinging you or a snake bite, whether you just lie down to sleep and you just didn't wake up, open your eye again. Doctor come and pronounce heart attack. So what, the heart failed? Yeah, that's it. What does it mean? When the time comes. That's one thing nobody can stop. But then Yamraj come, please Yamraj, I have so much things to do still. Please give me at least 1 more year only. Or 1 more day. No. Chalo. I gave you enough time. You didn't make the use of it. And don't think I'm too young. I'm only 15 years. I'm only 10 years. No. Have you never seen little people, little children? One child came out of the womb, didn't even come outside. and died. One came out of the womb, cried and died. Every day we see people dying in their childhood, youth and middle age. You don't have to get old to die. That's written in your karma. Ayuh karma cha vittam cha vidyani dhanameva cha panchaitani sijjante garbhas tasyaiva dehinaha. How long you will live for? Ayuh. Karma, what kind of interest you'll have. With how much wealth will come to you easily. Vidya, how much knowledge will come to you easily. Nidhanamevacha, the moment you will die and how you will die is determined. The soul is put inside the fetus in the womb of the mother. And no one can change that. It's already determined. You can't change it. You have, and you don't know, nobody knows. That's the thing. If we knew, then okay, next time I'm going to die, this time I'm really going to work hard. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Bhagwan knows. And a saint knows. But the saint wouldn't tell you. Why wouldn't he tell me? Why wouldn't a saint tell me? Because if he tells you, you're going to waste valuable time trying to prevent something you have no control. Suppose a saint come and tell you, hey, you're going to die next year or next week. Are you going to do like Parikshit and listen to Bhagavad for 7 days? No. You'll try everything. Go by this Obiaman, this Babaji, that one, this doctor. I don't want to die. Save me somehow. Who is going to just say, okay, I'm going to die in 7 days. Let me focus my mind on Krishna now. Totally. Parikshit did that. Parikshit knew he was going to die in 7 days. There was no doubt about it. So what he did, he sat down and listened to Bhagavad from Shukadev ji. Can we do that? No. Anyone, challenge, you're going to try some way to find out how to prevent you from dying. So that's why a saint wouldn't tell you. Instead he tells you, look, forget about that. Utilize every moment. See it as being very precious. And utilize it in the remembrance and the worship of the lotus feet of the Lord. Because every moment that passes does not come back. It does not come back. And none of us can guarantee that next moment even. So let us remember the Lord at all times. Take some time. Every morning. Just as you eat food for the body, that's for the body. Body is material. It belongs to us. Keep it healthy is good. We have to keep it healthy. Without this body we can't exist. And the human body is the greatest. Even Devatas are praying for it. But I am not the body, I am the soul, the Atma. Body is material. You give it material things. The Atma, the soul, is divine. It's a fraction of God, a part of God. So you have to give it divine food. What is the divine food? When you sit down in a room by yourself and you remember the Lord, you meditate and you chant the Maha Mantra, you chant Kirtan, Bhajan. You chant the glories of the Lord with tears in your eyes and you worship the Lord and you develop a yearning in your heart to meet Krishna, to see Krishna. That is food for the soul. So just as we eat and we exercise, if we are smart, at least half an hour every day we exercise to keep the body healthy. In the same way, we have to exercise for the soul. That is called sadhana. You have to take some time. Every day, take some time and devote it to this is food for your soul, yourself. We are the soul. We so care about this body to keep it healthy. Then keep the soul healthy too. The Atma, who you are. And because the soul is divine, we have to give it divine food. And divine food is when we focus the mind on the Lord and we chant the name of the Lord. With love and devotion, we shed tears for Him. That is, meditate on Him. That's Smaran Bhakti. That is food for the soul. So we have finished the first 4. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. We still have Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Alright? We'll finish for tonight. लाडली लाल की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे. Before I ask, is Uncle Roger here? All right, before Uncle Roger come and say a few words to you, just a reminder that as was told to you by Uncle Roger in the beginning, by the kind courtesy of Mr. Bhagwan Singh and the committee of the Shivlingam Mandir, of course Bhagwan's grace most important. We have been allowed to extend this yagna for 3 more nights or 3 more days, 3 more sessions. So not tomorrow, you get a little break tomorrow. Sunday morning we'll be here from 9:30, about 9:30. So everyone is invited to come Sunday morning around 9:30.